So before anything happens, okay, this is a little low here. That might be better. Before anything happens to the body, I want to talk about what happens at the mortuary. So when it first arrives at the mortuary, this is all from California, so ours might be a little different, but from what I was getting an inside view into California's was that first the bodies are put onto a cold steel table and they're weighed, and then after they're weighed, you take their height and then you get hair color, eye color. Why am I using my left hand with a sock on it? I don't know. And other personal traits all onto this little ID card, and then you would get assigned a toe tag. You don't, hopefully. The person in there gets the toe tag, and they're also assigned a crip. A crip is like where the body goes, and you have an ID. Once again, not you. The body has an ID before any work is done to it, so that there's no disfiguration beyond what has already been done by nature. Thanks, Dad. And then God, I keep on saying you're not the dead person. The dead person is live scanned and they're fingerprinted, so their fingerprints go into a database. And then the body is rewrapped and stored in that crypt until needed later. They'll be photographed without clothes. Everything has to be photographed, so like in case there's any external damage to the body, it must be photographed. Anything and everything has to be photographed, and there's an x-ray room that's used. This is in the California one. I don't know if our Montana one or our local one has it, but in the California one, they do x-ray scans for any things that might be lodged into the body. And for all homicides, the intestines must be opened. That's a requirement. But that's part of the autopsy. So let's move into the autopsy here. And during the autopsy, pathologists are only brought in if the death is suspicious. So a pathologist is the person who determines the death, and they're like, might be a little suspicious, so they come in only if it looks like it could have been done by more just nature. So first, we examine the body. Anything that could be done externally. So any external damage that could explain or interfere with the death. Then after that, you do what's called a Y incision. Shoulder to shoulder, like this, and down to the pelvis. Not beautiful? That's what it is. So after you do the cut here, you then want to open up the chest cavity. So then you can see the organs. We have to break ribs. I could try to draw that. I'm not sure how well that's going to go. Let's find out. So let's draw a little chest here. That's not looking real chesty yet. We'll go like this. You're going to have to trust the process on this. And we're going to draw some little squiggles. Okay, let's see here. Sternum, rib. Obviously, not beautiful. I'm not a great artist. But you open the chest cavity and then use things to keep it open, so their ribs are broken and it's opened up, and you put like these metal little clamps to keep it open so you can examine the organs. And then you examine the organs, look for any damage in the organs or anything that could be related to the death. And when you do that, you then cut out all the organs, because you have to take them out. You take out all the organs and then you weigh them. This sometimes, if not all the time, not all the time, most of the time includes the brain. and these are all weighed along with blood tests being done. This includes like toxicology. They're looking for diseases, anything that could have interfered with the death. Obviously, you can't just take all the organs from a body and not return it. That's kind of frowned upon generally. So you take, after you've taken the organs out of the body, they have to go back into the body. They like being there. That's where organs are supposed to be. And then you must clean the body, which doesn't sound like a fun job to me, but you know, clean the dead body after you've extracted the organs. And then the eyes and mouth remain open post-mortem. So they'll be like, and you don't want that, no one wants that. So you're gonna use a glue for the mouth and eyes. You can also use skin-colored like lids that go over the eyes. Really sounds creepy to me, but that's what it said. Oh, embalming. So embalming, you take the blood out and put the embalming chemicals in at the same time. So you have blood going out, embalming chemicals going in. And then, oh my, I'm so sorry, I missed a step. I like skipped over for some reason. After you put these fellows back where they're supposed to be, you don't just leave the chest cavity open. Once again, frowned upon. You then give them baseball stitching. And it's called that because it looks like the stitching on a baseball. But that's what's used to sew up a human body. So you sew back up the Y incision, and your fella, not sure how great you guys can see him, little baseball stitching, and then he gets washed and whatnot, you know. In all of these, you're constantly examining the body. There's not a stage where you're not looking and seeing anything that could have been missed. Everything, you're examining something. I think that is all. If there's more, there'll be another video attached because I forgot something. You'll find out.